Hey everyone, welcome back to what am I welcoming them back to? Oh yeah, Phone a Friend News. I'm one of your two hosts, the ambassadors of gaming. My name is Chris,
And I'm Michael.
and we have fun stuff for you today, including Pokemon news. If you cannot judge by Mike's hat or my little
Oh, damn it.
friend on my shoulder, what did you have one too?
Oh, no. I forgot about the Pokemon hat. I turned it around last time because
You didn't even realize you
copyrights.
were wearing that.
No,
Mm.
I don't know what I'm doing with my life
I
half the time.
actually, I actually got this Pikachu from Pokemon Day at Target. They were giving them out. They were giving these ones out for free. Um,
He's quite flat. No
I think,
offense.
yeah, they were giving out these for free,
He's quite squishy.
and then you could buy like cards and get like deals and stuff on them.
Wait,
What?
I said he's quite flat.
Well, he's supposed to just sit on like a desk or like.
Oh, okay.
My girlfriend put hers in her car on her dashboard. So.
Good place. Good place. Fair enough.
So, but that's toward the end because I have opinions on it that I need to share. So why don't we start with what we start with?
Okay.
That's you, Mr. Michael.
I'm going to start with more Crash Bandicoot rumors because that's what I want to start with. So, there were circulation of rumors of a new Crash Bandicoot. Sony executives wearing T-shirts on press conferences, things like that. Was it PlayStation Arabic? Not the Arabic PlayStation one. Twitter account tweeted out something about Crash missing, most wanted, or something like that. And then now, uh, one of the voice actors who has played Dr. Cortex, the main villain of Crash Bandicoot, stated on social media, quote, "Wow, what a throwback Thursday. This week I've been asked to resurrect 3 different characters that I've voiced from 3 different games gone by. A doctor, a devil, and a droid/AI. Unfortunately, that's all I'm allowed to disclose at this time. Stay tuned for more details. Very excited about these." Um, in reference to Doctor, he has played Dr. Cortex and Doctor Doom in previous games. And after this came out, one of the I forget what position he is at Sony, but his name's Adam Boyce, and he confirmed that Activision still owns the rights to Crash Bandicoot, and that they can't do anything creatively with it. So maybe Activision is making a new Crash Bandicoot. I guess we will have to wait and find out, because Activision doesn't like to say shit. They just like to put shit out there when
Yeah.
it's done.
This is gonna sound. I don't want to make this sound insensitive to our longtime gamer fans, but if there is another Crash Bandicoot game, I have a feeling that it will be very small.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling its funding will not be very much because gaming has changed definitely since Crash Bandicoot was like a common thing. There are more like in-depth games that are made, just games that you just want to play more. You'd rather go play Uncharted or Fallout,
Yeah.
or Dark Souls 3 rather than play as some sort of animal running around. Not to say that it's not good. Not to say that the Crash Bandicoot games were good. It's just that I think that for Activision, they're a huge game company, and they wouldn't do things that they don't think would make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I feel like if it came to taking a risk on it, they really wouldn't, and they would just give you something small.
I had a weird idea.
Hmm.
And I don't know how often this happens, but
Having weird ideas, it's pretty often.
No, not that. What I'm going to explain as my hypothesis here. So, Sony knows that PlayStation gamers want a Crash Bandicoot game, right? Activision
Sure.
clearly doesn't want to make one because they would have by now. They would have commissioned one of their studios and been like, "You're making Crash Bandicoot, do it, and give it to us in however long it takes to make it." So, maybe Sony goes, "Hey, you know what? We'll pony up the money to publish the game if you make the game." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they could co-publish it with Activision. Maybe give them half the money or most of the money or maybe all of the money to publish the game. And then have the game come out that way. You know, I don't know how often that happens, if ever. I don't think it does, but it's it's pretty clear that some people want Crash Bandicoot, and I think I think they might consider looking at it, Activision at least after Ratchet and Clank's reboot, because Ratchet and Clank came out and it was $40 for a brand new game, which is almost unheard of for a triple A game, and it sold this Ratchet and Clank game sold the most amount of copies in the first week out of any Ratchet and Clank game.
Mm.
So it sold the best out of all the games I've ever sold. So I think that says something, and platforming isn't really a thing. Well, it is a thing, but it's in a different format now. Whereas it's more about free climbing like Assassin's Creed and Uncharted, and that kind of thing. They have platforming elements in them, but
there's
it's not
movement on my couch. There's a creature living on my house.
On your house, literally on top of it.
Is there a creature living on my house? Is the creature living on my? I almost said crouch, like mixing up crotch with couch. Oh my god! Your Croatian watch, your crotch. Jeff Dunham joke. But I know what you mean. Like there are elements of Crash Bandicoot in other games. Like
platforming is still a thing.
I understand what you're saying. It's still a thing. What I'm talking about is the entire atmosphere of gaming has changed.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And you can even say, as there aren't nearly as many fans nowadays. Like people are into people that played Crash Bandicoot back then. Like a lot of them could be like hardcore PC gamers who now won't even touch something about it. I think they're too good for it or something.
That's possible too. But if anything, it's been proven that people from our generation, in general, from anybody I would say under the age of 25, we get hit with nostalgia like a fucking train. So we just jump on it and just buy whatever the fuck it is. We don't really give a shit because it reminds us of being a kid. So
I don't remember when it happened. But when I got a DS, one of the games that I got, and this is from like a DS Lite, it was my first Nintendo DS. I got Pokemon Pearl for it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't a huge Pokemon player, but I had played Fire Red before it, and I had played Sapphire. And so I played it, and then I broke that DS Lite, and for a while I didn't get another one, so I didn't have one for like a few years. And like a year and a half later, someone, I believe it was you, showed me how to download a ROM. Yeah. Like a whatever it was.
Don't download ROMs. Buy real games.
No, not a ROM. I'm sorry. This is before you lived with me. No, because this was on the Dell computer.
Oh yeah.
This is way before. Dell computer is the computer that's in my house that my parents just like gathered dust. But I was able to download a version of Platinum for it.
Yeah.
And the nostalgia. My favorite. We'll talk more about Pokemon later.
Yeah.
But I do agree, nostalgia will hit me like a train. I totally agree.
We buy a whole bunch of shit from our childhood that we unnecessarily don't fucking need.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need this? No, I fucking don't. But I wanted a Pikachu bank because fuck it, why not?
Oh, I have an amiibo of
Mario.
8-bit Mario.
Do I need this Carnage mug? No, I don't. Do I need this Venom mug? No, I don't. I think I've proved my point.
Ooh, I'm not gonna go get it, but I did buy a 20th anniversary. It's right up there on the top of my desk. I bought a, the 20-year anniversary, the 20th anniversary plushes that Pokemon comes out with.
No.
Well, every month they release a new Pokemon. Like this month, you can get Darkrai from GameStop.
Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
And they were selling 20th anniversary plushes of Darkrai.
Oh, okay.
In like these really nice boxes, so I bought one. Did I need it? No. Is Darkrai even close to my favorite Pokemon? No. I want. Give it to me. You won't even use it.
I don't need to. None of my controllers broke yet. When my controller breaks, I'll use it.
Give it to me.
For now, it's just gonna chill.
I will use it now.
I don't care.
Have it. But we're branching off a little bit.
So, anyways, that is a good segue because I want to talk about some Sony shit. So, it's been rumored that Sucker Punch, the studio that makes Infamous, is making a Spider-Man game.
Didn't they make the first Sly Cooper games too?
Yeah, they made 1,
Sucker Punch
2, and I think 3, but don't quote me on it. I know they made 1 and 2. I don't know if they made 3.
I'm pretty sure they made 3.
But so it's been rumored that they're making a Spider-Man game, which makes sense. They clearly know how to make superhero games. So there was this tweet from earlier this week. This guy on Twitter at nerd_leaks tweeted, quote, "It's been too long since last leak. Here's one. Sony is working on untitled Spider-Man PS4 project. Trailer incoming E3 2016, in parentheses, and question mark." So, I don't know how credible he is, to be fair. He's not like, have you ever heard of Shinobi on Twitter? Shinobi's credible. People know Shinobi's shit is legit. But, so we all, people thought that was bullshit. I read the total updated, this is what we know right now. And so what happened is a CV listing of Stephen O'Young, a stuntman for Blur Studios, listed an untitled Spider-Man PS4 game on his public listing on LinkedIn. And after it was put up, like within 3 hours, it got taken down. So that's pretty conspicuous.
Well, you know what I mean? I understand why it's taken down. I totally agree that this is a thing. Every single Spider-Man game that's come out for console has been really good. Like, I thought they were all really good.
There were some that weren't as good as others. They were all moderately good.
My particular favorite is Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 2. For the PlayStation 2's hardware, that game was impressive.
Yeah.
That was a huge open world. The entire area of Long Island. Like, that's impressive. If you know anything about gaming hardware, that's not even last generation. That's the generation before last generation. Exactly. And there was an open world game. A huge open world.
Like,
that's impressive.
Division only has like a half of Manhattan, right?
Yeah, and we're talking...
but it's more graphically detailed.
It is more graphically detailed. We're talking about the entire... And it's built to scale. Yeah, this is the actual Long Island.
Yeah, it's a huge map. I remember going about it. And same thing with Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 was the same way.
You could climb the Empire State Building. If you timed it right and web slinging to helicopters, you could get to the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, I do remember that. I know there was variation in Spider-Man 3 on the PS2 and the PS3. I like the PS2 one better personally. Not because of anything other than there was one small thing that differentiated the two was clearly he gets a symbiote suit, right? And in the next gen version at the time, it was a segment of the story. He got the suit wouldn't come off. He just used the suit the entire time. He got the suit off, that was it. It was done. In the PS2 version, it was like a combo meter thing. Your combo would go up, right? And then you could activate the suit whenever you wanted. And so you'd activate the suit, but you had to keep your combo going or you die. But you could use it after you get the suit. You can use it throughout the entire game. Like, even after the game's done and you're just free roaming around, you can still use the symbiote suit, which is why I liked it better, because it was like an activated thing instead of like, you have it, which is really cool. It was cool to have it the entire time, but then it was gone. And you couldn't get it back. You had to replay the whole fucking game to get to that point, and then you could only play that section of the game with it. So, but I am excited because Sucker Punch knows how to do perk trees and stuff, and Spider-Man perk trees are usually iffy. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just get these bullshit abilities, web abilities, and things like that. Um, I know it probably won't happen, but I miss the old like the PS1 games had incorporated the fact that Spider-Man didn't have unlimited web. Like when you ran out of web, that was it. You are fucked until you find more web. You needed to get across that building. Sucks to be you. You're out of fucking web. But that game wasn't an open world, so when you ran out of fucking web, you couldn't go across a building, you were dead. Because you couldn't fall in between the buildings. There was no ground, it was just the tops of buildings. So I hope they incorporate that because it's really an underutilized game aspect. I know it's just I'm being nitpicky now, but
Dude, it's a really bad game.
hmm.
I got Spider-Man 3 for the DS Lite.
All the DS Spider-Man games are
It
awful.
was
All
it
of
was
them.
side scrolling and it was awful. It was absolutely terrible.
Hold on. I gotta show you something real quick. So you know the Ultimate Spider-Man? Have you ever seen Ultimate Spider-Man?
Sure.
The PS2 game? Yes?
Sure.
Okay, hold on one second. I'll be right back. Literally right back.
You're taking too long. I'm getting tired.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. I let somebody borrow it, and I didn't get it back yet. Anyways, it's one of the first games I ever played that was cel shaded, like a comic book. So the entire game looked like a comic book. But that game was phenomenal on the consoles, but it was also a side scroller on the DS and the Game Boy Advance, and it looked like shit, and it played like shit. So my buddy, I was talking to him about it, and he goes, "This game's a piece of shit. Like, why do you love this game?" And I was like, "It's completely different. It's an open world. Like when you play the console version, it's not like I have to side scroll and jump over people. I can just kind of move the fuck out of the way if I'm gonna get hit." Anyways, I wish there was another one of those.
Yeah, we'll move on from there. But yeah, new
Sorry.
Spider-Man game, and just to touch on that, since we're talking about games that aren't exactly don't exactly feel all that good. I got Hyrule Warriors Legends, and don't get me wrong, it's really fun.
You fucked
but
up.
Oh my gosh, did they dumb it down?
Yeah.
It is so the graphics are awful.
You know what the worst
Absolutely
part is?
terrible. What?
It's specifically even worse for you because you don't have the new 3DS.
I'm getting it. I'll be getting it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but they did add aspects to it that I did like though. Like you can switch between characters as you play.
That's
like on the map. You can take control of Sheik or you can take control of Link or of Sia of whoever you're playing with. And they added multiple storylines, so it's not just that one story. There's a Toon Link storyline too, and he's my favorite character in Smash.
I know how you feel.
He
about
is
Link.
my favorite Legend of Zelda game is a tie between the Phantom Hourglass and A Link to the Past.
I'm surprised you don't like Wind Waker.
I never played Wind Waker.
Yeah.
I didn't own a GameCube.
So good. That game is so fucking long. For a GameCube game, it's so long.
There was a Cyber Monday sale for Wii U when it was only $30, and I should have bought it.
You should have, because it's a phenomenal game.
Yeah, we are getting way too off course. So now, we're at the meat and potatoes. So Pokemon Sun and Moon. We have a little reveal trailer. And we have a launch date, November 18th, 2016, which is around the time, if I remember correctly, around the time the last game was released.
Probably. They try to keep it similar. It's usually around Black Friday. Yeah, Black Friday, right? Thanksgiving's in November, yeah.
You're going to come up to Kent this time, and we're going to go to the midnight release together.
Okay, fine.
You better, yeah.
Okay, fine. Anyways, go ahead. Tell them about Sun and Moon.
Yeah. So it's just a basic reveal. You get to see the first evolution of the starters, and you get to see the legendaries, and you get to see just a little bit of gameplay. What's that face?
Sorry, I was super confused because most games come out on a Tuesday, right? This game comes out on a Friday. Super weird.
But so first you do get to see the actual combat. The combat looks indistinguishable from X and Y and Oris. It looks absolutely indistinguishable.
Of course.
We might get new sprites. A new sprites is kind of a thing that we didn't really see much with Oris, because there wasn't really much of a need for it. They were both Gen 6 games, and because now there's 3D modeling instead of just having a picture sprite, having new sprites didn't really come into play. However, that being said, in the trailer, the in-game world is incredibly more detailed than Oris and X and Y right now. Way more. Have you watched the trailer yourself, Michael?
Yes, I did. I'm curious as to if that was running on the new 3DS. I'm kind of worried we're gonna get a shitty version if you own the regular 3DS.
No, it's the new 3DS. It has a faster processor, but that's all that is about speed, though.
Oh, okay.
The graphics card and everything is still the same.
Okay.
All it is essentially your load times are shorter with the new 3DS, and you've got the C-Stick, and then the face tracking 3D. But the games will run the same, except for maybe just a really minuscule amount, maybe an extra 5 to 10 seconds of loading for anything that needs to load.
I can deal with that.
But the game looks incredibly more detailed from the open world aspect. It's based on Hawaii.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's going to be tropical, and from what I can tell, the open world looks huge. It looks more like a region, like a real region.
A couple of cities.
Instead of a couple little towns. It is huge.
It's awesome.
But we do get to see the starters. So we have Litten, which is like a fire cat. And of course, they show you the ability, and these are just the basic abilities for the starters. So Litten, the fire cat, has Blaze. Poplin looks like a seal of some kind.
A circus seal.
A circus seal, yeah. And her ability is torn. You know what that makes me think of? Poplars from Futurama. The children of the Omicronians that they were eating.
This is so fucked up.
And then you see Roulette, which is the grass starter, but just like Bulbasaur, it actually starts out with 2 types. It starts out with grass and flying. It is an owl. It is a grass owl, and my girlfriend hates it.
I love it.
She
super excited.
Does not like owls in any way, and its sprite actually turns its head around 360 degrees.
That's hilarious. I hope when he evolves, he turns into a big-ass sprawling fucking owl. And I hope this cat turns into a panther. If it doesn't turn into a panther, I'm going to be disappointed. And this seal, I don't know. For all we know, he could evolve and the fucking end of his nose pops off and he ends up playing with it like a big seal and he just looks like a rip-off of Dugong.
And then we see the legendaries as well.
I'm really interested in them.
Well, for one, I'm going to go ahead and say I was not really a big fan of the starters.
They're whatever.
I feel, I don't know, maybe I'm just getting a little tiresome with Pokemon, that's all. Don't get me wrong, I love the gameplay, but I just feel like, I don't know, the art designs, I wasn't really too crazy about a lot of the art designs for Generation 6 either. And at least I liked...
I didn't like Black and Whites either. I thought Black and Whites were awful.
Black and White is my least favorite generation. 5th gen was my least favorite. You got Pokemon like, what do we have? Clink, Clang. What else do we have that I absolutely hated? I'm mostly too big on starters.
They're just bad Pokemon, I'm sorry.
But there were a few I liked from Gen 5, like Pawniard and Sharp. My favorite generation, though, by far, and I know I've told you this just 100 times, is Generation 4.
Yeah, Diamond Pearl.
Those are Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. My favorite Pokemon is from that generation. My favorite legendaries are from that generation. Or my favorite legendary, which is Palkia. What else? I thought the story was really, really good, especially in Platinum. and it was also a big deal because it was the first game with like 3D rendered graphics. And I don't want, like it's not like how they are now, but the background artwork, like when you were outside, you'd see houses, all 3D models and stuff. It was just a really good game. My favorite Pokemon is Gallade, if you cannot tell. If you could see over here next to my desk, I have
The Black Ops
a
game.
actual Pocket
Definitely.
Monsters figure in a box on my
Particularly
pinboard
Black
for
Ops
Gallade.
Zombies.
I also
did
have one
play
for
World of War
Rhyperior.
Zombies,
I
but
also
Black
have
Ops
this
Zombies.
crazy theory I was talking to somebody about earlier.
That was fun. And as soon as
so
it hits the
Nintendo seems
soon as
to
it hits
use
the download
the same engine to make
marketplace.
a couple games, right? Like Red and Blue, Silver and Gold, same
Sorry,
engine.
what was
The
the last
three-
thing you said?
X and Y.
as soon as it hits the 360
Yeah.
download marketplace,
Silver-
I'm gonna be a happy camper.
Silver and Gold.
I already tried.
Crystal.
Oh no. Yeah, those are all
Anyways,
one
I found the
engine.
original
Ruby and
source code
Sapphire,
I was talking
Fire Red,
about.
Leaf Green, same engine.
So what I
Diamond
guess
and
what
Pearl,
happened here is a bunch of
Black and
people
White, Black and
quit
White
Don't
2,
forget
Infinity Ward originally.
Yeah,
in
you know what I mean.
2010 when
Same engine.
Modern Warfare 2 got released.
X and Y,
And then
Mega Ruby, Alpha
so
Sapphire,
26
same
people
engine.
left, and then
Pokemon Sun and Moon,
38
probably the same engine.
employees filed a lawsuit
No,
against
I don't think so.
for
Really?
royalties and allegedly
It looks
they were
similar,
held, quote
but,
unquote, hostage.
My theory is that we don't get another new Pokemon game.
So probably what happened is they had to solve
Next
those
year we'll
lawsuits,
get
fire
a
those people,
remaster of
whatever.
Diamond and Pearl.
I would
That
love it.
sounds-
That's just
You
my
never
theory.
what
Well,
the whole side of
I
the
guess-
story is, 'cause
okay.
Because last year we didn't even fucking get
story
one.
never
Well,
did
was
we?
First,
published, so
Before we go in,
died.
a new Pokemon came last year.
No, because we got Ruby and
We got-
Sapphire the year before,
stay
and then we got
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't get a new
Well,
Pokemon game last year? I thought
That's
Oris
what
came out
somebody
last year.
said when I was in
I don't think so.
one of those PAX panels. It's relevant to
No.
the division.
I'm pretty
They were talking
sure.
about the process of
Pretty sure they just
development
skipped last year.
and
They
how
didn't make a Pokemon
they
game
hire
at all last
people
year.
Oh my
before
god,
they get the
sneezes
money
are
for
real.
the
Because
design.
X and Y came out
And then
13.
they get the money
Well,
for the
before
game,
I go
they
into
make
that-
the game, sometimes
Before I
they
go into
follow
my
more
theory
people
about that, I'm going to talk about the legendaries first. Alright, so the theory is Sun and Moon, which is Fire and Ice, or Fire and Water in this case. The Fire legendary or the Sun legendary is a lion, a fire lion,
and then I go make my game.
Yeah,
which I think doesn't look all that bad.
I think he
Says
looks pretty
on
sweet.
the other side of
The Moon
world,
legendary
so if you work at
looks,
Activision or Blizzard, and I was like, yeah, more or
definitely.
less.
well, it's Pokemon.
Yeah, they're just like,
I like it.
oh, magic.
I think
It
he looks
we
sweet.
need to
is
make a game, please.
A bat
He's a
Here's one.
gigantic
That-
fucking
that
bat.
resembles the moon.
That correct.
Yeah, he's got crescents on the end of his
so
wing.
much fucking money.
Yeah, I don't think he looks cool. I think he looks a little weird.
I think he
Like
looks
they-
pretty cool.
Not last year, 2 years.
All right, now
Either
that
last
I
year
have
or 2 years
told
ago,
you
their
all
financial report
what you wanted to
that they
hear,
made $4.2 billion.
I was
When
right,
you
there
see-
was no game last year. Sorry.
when you see games like if you compare
Holy
Call of Duty
That's so
Call of Duty
much
4 Modern Warfare
shit.
and you compare Call of Duty
It's
Ghosts.
ridiculous, dude.
I hope
No,
that-
no, okay,
one
fine.
thing
How about I
do not
compare
like
it to
about Call of
Black
Duty
Ops
is-
2?
or not the
Okay.
Call of Duty, the newest Call of Duty.
Now, even
I
though
don't like
one game
got
looks
rid of the
entirely
one-hit
graphically
melee.
superior to another,
Yeah, I agree
they
with
still
that.
came out on the same console because
Well,
there's
now
a
people
better
just use
understanding of
combat
the
knife.
hardware
They
as
just
the
have
generation
missiles
goes
and
on.
a fucking combat knife. It's the worst
So,
shit ever.
but the thing is, for handhelds, which are
That
Pokemon's
they
main
did
home,
ruin it. They ruined one
or its
thing
only
for
home
them,
for the
they
main
added
for the
these,
actual main series
have you seen the
games,
one-hit pistols yet?
the hardware
There's one
isn't
shot
as
pistol you can get.
expansive.
No, but
You
get
can't
them
really
from the
extend it much
Oh wow, that's crappy. How
Unless you
much
come out with a
ammo
new
do they have?
system.
unless you come out with a new system.
But you can get them
But since the
akimbo.
new 3DS doesn't really expand on the 3DS's capabilities aside
All
from
the
speed up
pistols-
some
all
load
the pistols
times,
can be akimboed.
That's
That's donkey do.
Yeah, it is.
I'm
you
pretty
just have
sure
some
it is
asshole
coming
running
out on a
around
new
with these,
engine.
They're basically mini fucking crossbows.
Yeah, I mean
So
it
they
looks.
just run
the,
around
the
with
detail
them,
of the
like,
game,
you're
the
dead.
detail of the game
That's
seems
fine. Doesn't matter if
it's
you
much
get
too
the fast
detailed
or
to
whatever,
be
you're
the
fine.
same engine as X and Y and Horus.
Honestly, I really wish you wouldn't have done that.
People also have to be
Yeah,
understanding
it's
that
really
because the Pokemon games come
The
out on
melee
handhelds,
weapons
they're
were
not
fine,
going to
and they
be
had
graphically
swords
the
and
best.
bats and
No,
It's just
they're
how
still
it is.
pixely as shit.
But like,
They are.
one-hit
But
guns,
but that's just it about Pokemon fans. We don't really
Not
care
really.
about
No,
that.
They don't really give a shit.
We don't really care. We're in it for the
they
gameplay of
added
it.
the
Like
Annihilator in. I
back
thought that was
back
cool.
before
Like,
even X and
Well,
Y
yeah,
was
that's a
released,
super-
people were playing Call
that's
of
super,
Duty
yeah.
This is
and
just
then
done.
laying in bed playing
No,
Pokemon
it's Donkey
Black
Dude,
and
yeah.
White or Diamond and
The
Pearl
Fire's Donkey Dude.
before before
everything
X and
about
Y
it
even
just
came
dawned on
out.
No,
You know,
it's not
Pokemon
it.
fans, yeah, we
Now
like
that
our
I'm
3D models. And
finished
it's hard to
talking
play the
about
old
animal
games
excrement,
without going like, how did I
that
play
is
this?
all
But
the articles we have today. Do me a
I
favor,
never
let me know
knew.
in the
it's just
comments. I got a
the fact
camera
of the
arm,
matter
and I got
is
the
that,
good
you know,
camera
we're in
angle,
it for that
so now I can sit
gameplay
closer to my
as
computer
opposed
and you
to
can see
just
some
in
of my
it for those
apartment.
graphic
Isn't it pretty?
capabilities.
But just let me know what you think about it.
And my favorite
Please.
Pokemon looks pretty
Talk to me.
badass in a 3D model.
I have no I'm just kidding.
He really does.
Alright.
And he got a Mega Evolution.
Yeah, you were super
Just kidding.
excited
I
about
wasn't
that.
gonna take it that
He got a Mega Evolution, and he
Attention.
looks like a
done?
superhero.
Yeah, I'm done now. Go ahead.
I'm Ambassador Chris.
I'm Ambassador Michael.
Jesus.
My
And
girlfriend
we'll see
thinks
you
that this
next time.
Pokemon is the
Bye.
embodiment of me.
Goodbye.
I love superheroes, and if you know anything about how Gadlade looks, he's kind of like a symbol of like a knight in shining armor. He's supposed to be like the hero. So what do? They give him a cape for his Mega Evolution, and his pose, he'll like stand up like this randomly, like in his sprite. And even when he dies so, or when he faints, he does it with dignity, and he collapses to one knee.
He's like,
Yeah, he collapses to one knee, and he is so cool. But okay, I'm getting way too excited.
anyways, continuing.
Okay, so now we're moving on to just some flash news, which is, if you're unfamiliar with our stream, basically just when we talk about things really quickly.
I want to make sure you don't forget the first one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There was one little thing I wrote underneath all the Pokemon stuff.
Yes,
that
you can
one
go ahead
I'm
and say
going
that one if you want.
So, Nintendo, when they did their fiscal year and we saw the financial reports, we talked about all the NX shit last week. Capcom did the same thing. Capcom, known for Street Fighter, Resident Evil, other shit that I can't think of right now. Mega Man, yeah, Mega Man. So, when they released that, there was also a printed thing that came out, that printed version of the report that we saw, and it said Monster Hunter 2017, and then 2 main unnamed titles for 2017. And in the thing underneath that, it said, as a warm-up to the full-scale offensive planned for the second half of the year, after they release Umbrella Corps. So they're like ramping up for some crazy shit, I guess. I don't know. Resident Evil fans were pretty excited because, you know, the first thing that pops in their mind is they might get 7. So, but I don't really know. They've been waiting for 7 for fucking ever. That 6 came out in like 2012. So it's been a while since there was a new Resident Evil game. All the other ones have just been ports of old games or HD remasters or whatever. They released Resident Evil 1, 4, 5, and 6 now. They're remaking 2, which might also include 3. And they didn't say shit about 4. So I don't know about 4, but
There's a creature on my couch.
that excited a lot of people. I'm down for a new Resident Evil. I played 6, and I don't understand why everybody shits on it. I thought it was a pretty good game. So,
But we don't want to touch on this topic for too long. It's just kind of a be ready for new stuff from Capcom.
Yeah, exactly. Next year, Capcom shit.
Okay, so now we're moving on to Flash News, which is just where we're going to talk about things pretty quickly. Not really much we can touch on. So if you are a PC gamer, or if you have ever existed on YouTube gaming, you will know about Five Nights at Freddy's. You know, that scare tactic game where you play a stupid security guard who chooses to work a full week, even though you're being hunted down by homicidal versions of the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics.
For minimum wage.
For minimum wage. I will never see animatronics the same way. I'll go to Chuck E. Cheese and I'll just feel like that thing is staring at me. And there have been so many fan games and just... it's not that I don't like FNAF. I'm just all FNAF'd out. I really am. I have seen
most of the internet.
I have seen so much Five Nights at Freddy's that I'm just done with it for now. But supposedly they'll be getting some sort of remakes on console. The quote, what?
Possibly.
Possibly.
Go ahead.
Quote from Scott Cawthon, talking with a few companies who are interested in doing console remakes of the original games, which are games 1 through 4. I doubt that includes the Five Nights at Freddy's RPG, not to be confused with Five Nights at Fuckboys, which is an RPG of Five Nights at Freddy's, but is a fan game, and it's hilarious. Look it up. It is.
That one is.
It is absolutely hilarious.
Didn't the RPG get pulled?
I never thought I would have the term Dragon Dildo be associated with Five Nights at Freddy's, but it was. It was.
Didn't the RPG get pulled? Didn't he just take the RPG down?
I don't know. There's 3 of them, or 4 of them, I believe. Yeah, one for each game. He came out with like RPGs for it. This it's just a fan game. But he posts.
No, I'm talking about the legit like Five Nights at Freddy's RPG. You know what I'm talking about? It was the last game he made. It was the most recent.
Oh, was that released already?
Yeah, he released it and then he pulled it and then he released it again. And I thought he pulled it again. I thought he just pulled the game and said fuck this shit, because I guess it was running into a lot of issues or something.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but
Okay.
So, like I was saying, after I branched off, I do that a lot. I'm so sorry, folks. But you wouldn't be watching us if you wanted us to give you perfect news. You want to listen to us babble.
Possibly.
I cough. So, basically, if you like watching Five Nights at Freddy's and you feel a need to play the games, you might just get your chance on console.
Sure.
Alright, what do we have here? Okay. So the next Battlefield game
got announced.
Do not like the title.
I think it's funny. I think it's funny.
But when people talk about Battlefield games, which Battlefield? Battlefield 1. Do you mean like the first Battlefield or Battlefield 1?
Well, there's Battlefield.
Do you see what you did?
Battlefield Bad Company, Battlefield Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, Battlefield Hardline. There's a bunch of Battlefields. There's shit ton of them. Not as many as Call of Duty, but there's a lot.
Let's confuse our audience.
I think it's bold that they went back to World War One, though. They're like, fuck going into the future.
Yeah, that is the information we have. So they're going back to World War One. And I have the same argument against Microsoft naming it the Xbox One.
So all-in-one entertainment system, bro.
That's stupid.
You know what we could have called it? The new Xbox. Because that would be a real fucking great name, wouldn't it, Apple? You pieces of shit. The fucking...
What do they call the new 3DS? The new 3DS.
Fuck you too, Nintendo. The new thing.
It's better than the Xbox 720. That was what people thought it was going to be called. The Xbox 720.
More of this shit. The new Samsung Galaxy.
Is that seriously what it's called?
No. The new glass I just bought at the store.
The new Apple Watch.
Exactly. Like, I get it, it's new. But guess what happens when it's not new anymore? The name doesn't make any fucking sense.
It really doesn't.
Which iPad do you have? The new one? From 2012. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Which iPad do you have? The new one. From 2012.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, it just doesn't.
Oh my gosh. That's pretty awesome. Just the way you worded that was pretty good.
So
and then the last bit.
God, dude. It's so bad. It's just so bad.
It shouldn't be as funny as it is. What iPad do you have? I have the new one from 2012. Oh my goodness.
Anyways.
Okay. But, so then, the last little thing we have is EA is supposedly going to bring titles to the NX, quote, if it makes sense, unquote. And we all know what this is from. The Wii U was an absolute nightmare to code for from third parties. Because Nintendo insisted they incorporate the gamepad.
Mhm.
They absolutely insisted. So instead of just porting a game and changing some minor code, no, you guys have to add a whole other chunk onto the game.
Such a terrible design choice.
Um,
Could have put just
So-
the fucking menus on the gamepad and made it easier on the developers that way. You know what I mean? But
but this could mean a lot of things too, because we've seen a lot of these prototypes
sure.
where all these.
Go ahead.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I had finals.
Fine.
But we see all these prototypes of these Nintendo controllers, which all incorporate a touchscreen of some kind, with varying changes. And even though that's not nearly as big as a gamepad, that could be something that breaks them,
Yeah.
or
if
they
there's
might end up
another,
releasing another controller.
if there's
that
another
doesn't use
dual
that
screen,
touchpad.
it's gonna be fucking hell. Like, it's gonna be just bad. Nobody's gonna want to fucking do it again. They'll be like, "No, fuck you, we're out again." I'm slightly confused because I thought EA was the one that also said that they already got dev kits and were interested in developing for the NX. Or was that Ubisoft?
No, it was EA.
That's what I thought. I thought it was EA that said that. Now they're like, we don't really know.
Well, this could also be a thing. Maybe they did get dev kits, and maybe they're like, I'm not too sure about this.
I just thought about something.
Mm.
Just thought about something. So you know Mass Effect, right?
Yeah.
New Mass Effect got delayed. It's not coming out in the fall anymore. It's coming out next year, 2017.
Okay.
Right? Mass Effect is made by EA. I'm pretty sure the new Mass Effect's coming out in March. I could be
You
wrong.
think it's going to be some sort of launch title for the Wii U?
They could have pushed it back.
Or
and
for
been-
the NX?
They could have pushed it back and been like, well, there's no point in us releasing Andromeda on the other two systems, and then it comes out on the NX, and we just fucking wasted all the time making it for the NX. They could have just pushed it back and been like, hey, Nintendo, we'll hook you up with a launch game. Could be the thing. I just thought about that now.
But
Could
the
be. I'm just speculating.
we're going to end this one with saying, the ball is in Nintendo's court. Nintendo has always been the innovator when it came to consoles, and we've said this so many times. Nintendo's responsible for bringing video games back to the world. But that history alone isn't going to save them. They tried their innovation, and with the Wii, it brought in a crap ton of money, and with the Wii U, it absolutely did not. So Nintendo has a choice to make. Are they going to say, okay, we're going to back off from the innovation and just design our own gaming console that you can play Mario on, and you can play some Call of Duty on,
Yeah.
and you can play some Destiny on, and you can play some Dark Souls on, because they've just been, your gaming console and then what you played your Nintendo games on.
One
It's-
positive thing, though, if they do make a regular controller, whoever made the Wii U Pro controller better have made that shit, because the Wii U Pro controller is the most fantastic controller I've ever played with.
I do like it. It feels like a 360 controller.
It feels nice, and that thing fucking lasts for like 3 days. Like, that thing just does not die. Like, it's awesome. I've charged it once since I've had it, and I've probably played like 20 hours on it. It's fucking awesome. That thing lasts
impressive.
forever. That's great. Whatever you did with that, Nintendo, do that shit again.
Yeah.
I mean, you can put Rumble in it if you want. You don't have to, though.
Yeah, are you kidding me? I've been spoiled by Rumble feedback. I need it. It doesn't feel right
The
without
Wii
it.
U Pro controller doesn't have it. It just doesn't exist. There's no Rumble in it. That's why it's so light.
I would need some Rumble. You
It's
remember
alright. I'll do
how harsh the PS3 controller was frowned on because the initial one before release didn't have Rumble.
Oh, no, the PS3 controller, when it did come out, had ridiculous fucking Rumble. Like, the Rumble was so ridiculous. It was so harsh.
No. What I'm saying is, at the
Oh, the
PS3's
boomerang one?
reveal. No, let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
The PS3,
Shit.
its reveal had the one that they call the boomerang,
Mhm.
or not they call, but people who saw it called the boomerang, and it was just a concept.
Mhm.
But then when they revealed the DualShock 3, that was going to be the actual controller for it, it didn't have rumble, and this is before it was released.
Yeah.
And of course, people were like, "Why doesn't it have rumble?" And Sony's defense was that, "Oh well, rumble's last generation software, or it's a last generation perk of it's something to be passed up." And people are like, "No, we want that." So eventually he gave in, and on release, you got the rumble-enabled DualShock 3.
Funny enough, the DualShock literally comes from Rumble. That's why it's called the DualShock. It was the first controller to have Rumble.
Did the PS2 controllers have rumble?
Mm-hmm. It was the DualShock 2. The first DualShock came out on the PS1.
And it had rumble?
Mm-hmm.
That's
And I could be wrong, but I think it had sticks too.
No, it did not. PS1 controller did not have sticks.
The DualShock?
The DualShock 1 did not. The PlayStation 1 controller did not have joysticks.
The first
the PlayStation
one, yeah.
2 one did.
I'm talking about the DualShock controller, because the PS1 controller came out. Then the DualShock came out.
Oh, I don't know if there was a...
You know what the fucked up part about the DualShock controller was? It came out with Resident Evil.
Oh, wow.
So when you got, when a zombie hit you in Resident Evil, your controller shook. So it was the first time, you got feedback from getting hit in a horror game. So it scared the shit out of people. That's fucking great.
This we've been battling for too long.
Okay, goodbye.
We're gonna get out of here. Stop by the channel every now and then. We try and do these uploads at least once a week. And if not, Mike uploads something. And now that I'm done with classes, I just had my last finals today. I'm gonna see if I can get on and maybe do a little bit of Minecrafting. Build my own little world for the real world to see.
I was mining.
If I had the money, I would love to get a capture card for my 3DS and play some Smash or play some... Well, I'd Smash on the Wii U. I could play that. Or bring some Pokemon, or bring some... particularly, I would like to play Animal Crossing.
Ooh,
Animal Crossing
is cool.
Is pretty fun.
Animal Crossing.
But anyway, we're going to get out of here. Have a good night, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Goodbye.